Hey, everyone. It's Jen from You So Much, and I am here for the Wine with Wednesday, Wine with Wednesday, Wine Wednesday, Wine with Jen, whatever we want to call it. The bottom line is, yay, Wednesday's almost over, and let's celebrate and have a little wine together. If you happen to be joining me live, just say, hey. I always just consider this to be sort of an informal chat and drink some wine with y'all and get a little drunk, or really more punch drunk, because I'm talking so much that I don't really have a chance to drink a lot. But I will definitely say that I will sometimes come off like I'm kind of tipsy because I'm just having too much fun with y'all. And once again, I have not had any wine yet so far today. So I usually like to try a new kind of wine with you and share with you what I'm drinking. And if you happen to be drinking something, please do share with me what you're drinking, and let's just chat together and have a good time. I'm definitely known for going off on some tangents wherever the stories shall lead us. So on here yet. So again, if you are here, please say hi. Would love to know that you're here, and let's get drinking. I mean, come on, let's do it. So I recently, actually, I should say, my husband recently discovered this wine, and I saved a little bit from last night because we opened up the bottle last night. So there's this Whole Foods in our neighborhood, and there's a guy, Matt, the wine guy, and he does a little bit, like, it's his like little own pet project. Actually, it's something that Whole Foods just kind of lets him do because he loves wine. And he's kind of, from what I understand, he's kind of created this sort of like cult following of people at the Whole Foods store. So it's not something that Whole Foods wants him to do, or has like said, okay, we want to do like these wine tasting things. He just actually picks the wine that he loves and does a tasting every Monday with some cheese. So he's like the wine and cheese guy, and he does this on Monday afternoons. And so it's created, like I said, this little following, and I don't go. Usually John goes because he loves this guy, thinks he's great. And obviously a lot of other people go too. Hey, Sherry, welcome. So glad you're here to join. Please pull out your bottle and pour yourself a glass. So anyway, it's cool because he'll try different kinds of wines. And apparently there's been a couple of customers who have just raved about this one wine that he had not even tried. And so it's like, I'm just gonna get this out and give it a try. So here's the wine, and funky enough, this wine is from Turkey. So, and I actually looked at how it's pronounced, and this is how I think it's pronounced by looking it up on the website. Bogazkere. Bogazkere. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right. But one of the things that John mentioned when he tried it was that it just blew him away when he tasted it with the cheese and the wine. It just has a really great complementary flavor. So he brought it home for us to try. And oh my gosh, no joke, this wine is absolutely delicious. And so I will get into it. Hey, JJ, welcome. I love it. Yes, get out yourself a drink and imbibe with us here on the live broadcast. I love it. So, and Jay is saying that he has a new phone. Your new phone notified you about the broadcast. I'm so excited to hear that. Yay. So this is awesome, because I'm doing this like a different time every Wednesday. And so it's great that you guys are able to, someone's usually able to join me every Wednesday. So it's worked out great. So one of the things I thought would be kind of fun is to pull out my little trusty wine glass. So we have a few of these around the house, and these are great because they're like not a full glass of wine. They're like, I think they're technically like a half glass of what is normally poured at a restaurant. But I really, really dig these because they're nice to just have a little bit. And I actually, one of these is plenty for me. I usually get like seriously buzzed off of one of these. And so it's great. And so they almost look like little juice glasses. But where we got these from is that I think they originally came with a wine, and they would like package them up like this, I think, on the wine bottle. And I want to say it was a Coppola wine, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But so we have like 5 or 6 of these, and they're just awesome to drink out of. And what's cool is they have a little bit of nostalgia for me. Because when I was just 15 years old, and I know this because we went there on my 15th birthday. So it was it was the trip of my 15th birthday. My family went to San Francisco there. And, of course, we got to do all the different, little restaurants around town. Of course, we went to Chinatown and all the different cool places. We went to this one at the top of the Transamerica building, and that's where we went for my birthday. And the floor like rotates. So by the time you're done with dinner, you pretty much rotated one time around. So it's going so you can't tell you're moving. And it's really, really cool. So you get to basically see the entire city. As you can tell, I totally like have fond feelings of this trip because it was like one of my favorite vacations. And it was also one of the few vacations my family used to always go camping. But this particular vacation, we did actually go camping. Believe it or not, we went camping in the middle of San Francisco. There was like this big asphalt parking lot. And my parents had a tent trailer. And so we stayed at the tent trailer, saved money. But because we were able to do that, then we went out pretty much every night to super fancy dinners. And we like got to see all the sites. Like we went to Alcatraz and we went to see the Fairmont Hotel and we went to the San Francisco Park, which by the way was super cool for me back then because it was also where Rick Springfield had filmed his movie in that park. And so me and my sister were geeking out because we were huge Rick Springfield fans. This is making me laugh. Talk about tangents. This is hilarious. So anyway, the point is when we went to this trip, one of the nights there, we went to a restaurant in Little Italy. And so this particular restaurant was like down in the basement. And it was like, describe it, like you're basically like, you feel like you're in the middle of like, you know, some kind of mafia scene where like it was like full on, it was like old school Italian restaurant, right? And we get there and there's these little juice glasses on the table and they're all turned upside down like this. And when we get there, the waiter, like literally we barely sit down and the waiter turns over all of our glasses. Me, my sister, my mom, and my dad. And my sister, mind you, is like 12 at the time. And I'm, you know, like I said, I just turned 15 or was about to turn 15. And he pulls out the red wine and just pours us all a glass and says, okay, what do you guys want for dinner? And it was great because obviously they didn't care that the drinking age was 21. Like they're, you know, this is old school Italy. And that's what they do there. Like, you know, the kids drink wine along with the adults. So we just had a great time. My parents they rolled with it. They're like, all right, cool. I guess we're drinking wine with the kids today. So, so this kind of wine glass always makes me so happy when I see restaurants serving glasses like this, because it reminds me of that trip and that amazing memory that I will never forget. And anyway, so I am going to pour now, finally, after that long story telling you guys, I'm going to pour myself a little bit of this wine. So this wine from Turkey. Now, who knew? I didn't know that Turkey. And I'm going to read off their website for you. But one of the things I think is kind of cool is I'm so bad at geography, you guys. I'm so bad. Like, I think in school, I literally like blocked out geography and blocked out pretty much any kind of world history. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pull up like what the heck this is, you know, where the heck even Turkey is. I know it's bad, right? So I had no idea it was so close. Like I knew it was in Europe, but I had no idea it was sort of like, it's like kind of like the center of everything. It's like just on the east side of Europe, like right next to Greece, but on the west side of Asia. So like right next to Iraq, Iran. And then below that is Africa. And it's right south of the Black Sea. I think that's right. I'd have to pull up the map again. But anyway, the point is like, it was like right in the middle of kind of everything. So, you know, it kind of makes sense to me now that I see where it's at and kind of experience a little bit of the flavor of this wine. I'm like, this kind of makes sense. It's so good. So I got to read it off in the chat box because you guys are chatting away. And, okay, wait a minute, Jay. Wait. The first thing I saw when I looked at the chat box is, he said, who is Rick Springfield? You're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking. Please tell me you're joking. I think that's hilarious. I can't tell if he's joking or not. And Sherry's saying, how old are you, Jay Rice? Just kidding. He's the heartthrob of my age group. Totally, right? It was like 20 years older than me. And my friends used to make fun of me for loving this guy. And I used to always say, dude, I could totally marry him when I get older. It doesn't matter that he's 20 years older. He would totally be into me. And Jay, and for anyone out there who doesn't know who he is, which I'm like shocked you wouldn't know who he is. So I know you're joking. Oh my God, Jay says is not joking. Okay. So Rick Springfield got his, like, kind of started his fame when he was an actor on General Hospital. That's where he kind of got popular, but he was and has always been first a musician. So he's an actor and a musician. He's an amazing guitarist. And he wrote the song Jesse's Girl, which, Jay, I'm sure you've heard. You know, I wish that I had Jesse's Girl. Da, 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 da. I know I'm not doing a good job singing it, but he wrote that song. That's his most popular song. And since then, like he had like a huge cult following of women and still does. And he was on Californication, like he played himself on Californication. And he was also in True Detective in the second season. And I can't remember, he's been in a couple like bit parts in different TV shows since he became famous as a musician and a rock star, I guess is the best way to put it. So anyway, I mean, he's the guy that like I used to hang up his pictures from my Teen Beat magazines and put him on my wall. Like he was the guy I always loved. And what's really funny is a friend of mine from like everyone in my high school knew how much I loved Rick Springfield. And a friend of mine from high school who now lives in Texas, for some reason, Rick Springfield plays like kind of near that area way more often than he plays on the West Coast. And I can't remember where he lives, but he plays way more over there than he plays on the West Coast at all. And so, now that he does like these, like concerts at, how when they get older, they start playing like a lot of the repeat music, like at casinos and things like that. Well, that's what he does. And he actually has like this celebrity cruise that he does, but he rarely comes out here to the West Coast. I don't know why. He probably goes down to California a lot, but for some reason not in Oregon or Washington. And, but my friend has kind of become like a groupie that I went to high school with, has kind of become a groupie of his. And I think went on a celebrity cruise with him. And well, literally, like if she sees he's in town, she'll tweet him and go, "I want to go to a concert. Will you leave me tickets?" And he'll like leave tickets for her and we'll call and stuff. So, and she's like always posting about this on Facebook, and I'm always like, "Hey, no fair." Like he's my guy. So she's like, and she always sends me a message. She's like, "Yeah, I know. I always think of you. I always wish I could take you with me, but you're over there in Oregon." So, but funny enough, he is actually playing with the Oregon Symphony in April this year. And so I got my sister and I tickets to go to the show in April. And the Oregon Symphony is really great about doing shows like that. Like they do a lot of unique shows to kind of bring in different age audiences. And I'm so excited to see the show and see what it's all about. So anyway, there you go. That's Rick Springfield for you, Jay. I think it's so funny. And Jay is saying, yes, he does know the song Jesse's Girl and of course General Hospital. I mean, of course, right? So and I love it. Sherry is saying that your ex-in-laws were born in Turkey. That's awesome. So you probably know a little bit more obviously about the country and the wine and all that fun stuff. So all right, so I never even have got to this wine yet. I haven't even taken a sip yet. All right, so the thing about this wine, I'm going to go ahead and sip it here. Let's see how it tastes the next day, because you know how sometimes the wine isn't as good the next day. What I love about this wine is that it has like this amazing fruit quality. It's like super fruity. So this is like one of my favorite styles of wine. It's super fruity, and yet it's kind of light for red, even though it has this super dark color. You can see it's kind of got this lightness to it, and yet it's super fruity. And it also doesn't have that, you know how sometimes when you have like a real bold wine, the flavor kind of lingers on your tongue. It doesn't have that, which I kind of dig, because it's kind of like this super juicy wine. And I think if it lingered too much, it would be too much. So it has this amazing kind of like, I don't know if crisp is the right word, but I'm going to use it anyway. Kind of a crisp finish. It's like a nice solid finish that just like the flavor is done. And I kind of dig it. And it's super juicy. And I will say it tastes amazing with food. So with crackers and crackers and cheese. And we bought this quince stuff, which is like almost like a jam, like a real solid jelly, I guess is a better way of putting it. You put on top of the cheese and crackers. Oh my God, it's so good, especially with this wine. So highly recommend the wine with that. And go real quick to their website and I will read you off what it says about this wine. So it does say that it was a winery that was founded in 1943, and it's the oldest and largest producers in Turkey. And it's been run by 4 generations in Izmir, which is situated in the Aegean region. The Bogazkere, I think is how you say it. The Bogazkere is known to produce full-bodied wines with dense tannins and medium acidity. And it has sweet and sour aromas of morello cherries, blueberries, and plums. True to form, juicy and intense fruits prevail on the palate with well-managed velvety tannins and bursts of sour cherries on the finish. So, yeah, I totally agree with the sour cherries on the finish. It does have this nice kind of sour, and I've always really loved flavor that has like a little bit of sourness to it. So, gotta agree with that assessment. Although I do think it's not really, it's got these huge tannins. I'm not sure I agree with that one at all. Like a light, like super light maybe, but tannins to me are almost like this, create sort of like this kind of buzz on your tongue, and it doesn't really have that. It's more smooth to me. That's just to me, but I think it tastes super fruity. Definitely those sour cherries, and it's really, really good with fruit, with food. So there you go. Highly recommend the wine. If you see it in the store, it's absolutely delicious. So let's see what you guys are chatting about here in the chat box. I thought it would be kind of fun to talk a little bit about customer service today. But, you know, if we get around to it, right? I don't know if we'll have time. So let's see. Jay, and I love it. Jay is celebrating stuff. He's celebrating fulfilling, fun, productive, valuable technology. Awesome, which you have now that you have a new phone, I'm assuming. Masterful photographers, which is amazing. I know that you and Evan had a photo shoot yesterday, so that is super cool. And I also got a chance to talk to a photographer last night. As part of pregame, we did like a little session on Instagram, so that was cool. I'm so jazzed about Instagram. In fact, maybe I'll post even today, just for the fun of it. I'll post something fun about Instagram. And also he is celebrating flexible, gracious, receptive people in my life. I love it. I love it. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I chose the subject today of customer service, or great customer experiences actually is kind of what I thought would be a great title, because I love it when we have really awesome customer experiences. And I think it's awesome when people are gracious and they're interested in what you are all about, and they take that extra step to kind of make you feel special. I think that's kind of the key. For me, that makes the experience so much. It just make you feel welcome and make you feel like, you know, like you matter, right? And it could be something as simple as just asking a question about them, and finding out a little bit more about what's going on with them. So I think that's so huge. And Sherry says she's making some cake. And drinking wine with the boys. I love it. Oh, that's right. Your birthday today. Happy birthday, Sherry. I remember when I saw that on Chocolate Breakfast, I was like, I got to remember to wish happy birthday to Sherry. So I'm so glad you said that. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. I'm so happy for you. I hope you're having a great day. And I'm so honored that you're joining me on your birthday. So happy birthday. And you said you made some scratch yellow cake with some fresh strawberry bits, and you're cooking it now, and you're also drinking your regular Rex Goliath Cab. Awesome. And your two grandsons, Alexander and Gavin, your two cooking buddies are there with you. That's amazing. What a great birthday. Drinking Cab, waiting for the yellow cake to bake with your grandsons. Oh my God, what a fantastic birthday. I love it. And let's see. Sherry's saying this looks like your kind of wine, and your daughter might be moving to Portland. Awesome. So if your daughter moves to Portland and you come down and visit, we'll have to meet up for coffee or something. That'd be fun. Or we could do like a co-broadcast together or something. Maybe we could do chocolate for breakfast together. Totally up for that. I'm totally up for that. Let's see. And so Sherry's, so customer service. Without customer service, you have no business. If you ask me, they're the foundation of your business. I totally agree. Evan's team responds to every comment. Insane customer service. In fact, I will tell you, Jay, so yesterday during our Instagram talk, one of the things that came up was like, how can you make your Instagram followers or audience in general, how can you make them feel like they're insiders, right? And so one of the first questions he asked was like, you know, who do you think of that makes their people feel like they're, you know, part of the team, like they're inside, in on the business. And Evan was one of the first people I thought of. I think he does such a great job of doing that because he really does a lot of great things like live chats like this, where he definitely invites people to chat with them and makes them feel like they're part of the Believe team. And then, like, for example, with his books, he invites people to send in pictures and videos of themselves with his books, and then he'll thank them on his videos. Like, I think he's still to this day thanking people on his videos for buying his books. I mean, I think that's pretty incredible. And so that's the kind of thing that makes people feel really special and makes them feel like they're part of the like a customer for life, right? And they become customers for life. They'll be, you know, they won't subscribe his channel because they'll be huge super fans because he made them feel like they're special. And what else can I say? So I think that's super, super huge. I totally agree that customers, like, I think creating an extraordinary experience for people, I think is so important because it really, like, you know, like when you go to an event and the event person who's in charge of the event goes around and makes an effort to talk to the people there. Or, for example, if you can include something about the people there in your talk. Like, for example, last week I had a talk called... it was called the website Copy Quickie. And I talked about different websites that, you know, emulated the kinds of principles that I really, preach, I guess, and teach, that are, you know, some of the principles that they use, which is primarily one of my biggest principles, is that you really need to appeal to your ideal customer. And your ideal customer is kind of like the main character or the hero of your story, of your business brand. And so if your ideal customer goes to your website, for example, and you know, they feel welcome, they feel like they can see themselves in your website, then they're going to stay there. They're going to feel like they're in the right place, right? And so I think customer service in general can do that for someone. It can make them feel like, hey, you're in the right place. You're one of us, and you can stay here with us. And I think I just kind of went off on a tangent. I can't remember what I was talking about. So anyway, hopefully that all made sense. I hope I didn't not finish my sentence because I felt like I was going somewhere and then went somewhere else. But it was probably all about the same thing. It's about customer service. So, and Jay is saying he agrees that Evan has loyal, devoted super fans. Totally agree. And I think that's super huge to be able to create that loyal fan base for people. And I think you can really do that really well if you really understand who they are. Like, just in a sales conversation, for example, if you just go and you are having a sales conversation with somebody and all you're doing is talking about yourself and about how great your product or service is, like, they don't care. Like, they don't care unless it's relevant to them and to what they're all about and what their story is, right? And where they're going and how it's going to help improve their life. And otherwise, they don't give a shit. It's exactly the same thing on your website or in a Facebook ad or any marketing, any communications whatsoever, as well as personal conversations, right? And not only does that create this sense of empathy that they understand who you are as a customer, but also, like, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're part of the team, and that's so important. So, anywho, let's see. I am reading what Sherry's saying. When I went to my convention, I was talking to one of my customers and told him to tell his daughter happy 10th birthday. And he was so impressed over her birthday, right? Like, that's the kind of thing that goes a really long way. And it's, it's really is like, those kinds of things really are huge. I mean, even like, handwritten thank you cards are so big. And I keep telling myself I'm going to do a whole bunch of those. And I actually have a pile of, I keep buying myself thank you cards that, and but that's the kind of thing, especially nowadays, handwritten cards are almost never sent, right? But even an email can be really nice. I think, Jay, you're really good at this. You send emails about things that that I'll dig. Like, you'll send an email saying, hey, I saw this and thought of you, or, this YouTube video that's about dance or whatever. Like, you'll send me stuff. And I actually have taken that to heart and try and do that more often too, to my customers and to my colleagues and to my, my partners and things like that. So I try to do it with you too. So I think, that's the kind of little touch that makes people feel like, like you care about what they care about. So I think that's super huge. Well, anywho, if you guys have any ideas, any of you who are watching this on the replay, not if you're not watching this live with us, I would love to know if you have any tips for customer service or great customer experiences, because that's one of the things that is really one of my goals for this year, is to be able to create that for the people, because I notice it when someone does or doesn't do that for me. And so if you've had a really great customer experience, or you can think of a situation that made you feel really special, I'd love to hear about it. Please let me know in the comments below. And let's see, I'm just checking out, see if there's anything else. Yeah, a handwritten love. I totally agree. Handwritten love is good. It's so good. So I guess that's it for today, you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying. Jay, I don't know if you ever said what you were drinking. I know you were going to go drink something. I'm guessing it's vodka, but I'm just going to go back and make sure I didn't miss it, because I know Sherry's drinking her Rex Cab. And yeah, you didn't say, you said you're going to go get a drink, but in any case, that's okay. No big deal. I just didn't want to like not include you. I'm giving like this extra customer experience. Oh, you're just drinking water. Perfect. You're pulling an Evan Carmichael and just drinking water. Well, that's awesome. I love it. You don't have to drink vodka every night. It's probably not good for you anyway. And yeah, water is so good for you. I should drink more water. So in the meantime, for those of you who are looking for this turkey wine, it's really excellent. And I'm so glad you guys joined me tonight. And like I said, if you guys are watching this on the replay and have any suggestions for great customer experiences, or have one of your own to tell me about, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys again next week for Wine with Wednesday. Okay, bye.